With every release of a model refresh, there was always one thing on our minds. Should we upgrade from our current car? So
in this video, we'll be discussing the differences between the LCI1 2019 JCW and the LCI2 2022 Mini JCW. My name is Ethan, my brother Josh is holding the camera, and welcome to Car Creations. Alright, let's compare these two cars. So on this car we have bigger openings for air that comes through the back and then actually funnel behind the brakes over here. Whereas these, the air comes from the front, from these ones up here and funnels back. The air that goes to the intercooler goes in through here, down here, and then on this one, it heads through just this one side on this side as well as through the front in there. Alright, so next we come to the big grille. So this one, the grille comes from the top all the way right down to the bottom of the front. Whereas that side over there, it just comes down to the bottom of the license plate. As well as the center bit over there, which is a big piece of plastic. Whereas this, they do a fake grille which covers up the crash bar. On this car, we have a big front splitter that heads all the way around the bottom of the car. Whereas that car, I added on these little Pro front splitters that go on the side of the car. Maybe in the future I might add a nice little front splitter over there too, but don't need to do that on this one. The trim is blacked out on this one, whereas on that, it's not. As well as the headlights. So if you look carefully here, the headlights here are blacked out. And then if we head over there, the headlights are just completely clear. Okay, so come down in between the cars. And then we get to the mirrors. So this mirror is kind of this roundish shape here, whereas this one's a little bit more square. And this little square shape actually helps the air so it doesn't make any annoying noises when you're driving. It helps direct the air around the window. A little bit better. Differences between the two JCW side scuttles here. This one is an actual bulb, whereas this one is an LED. Let's head back a little bit farther. And now here at the back, once again, that blacked out theme continues, blacked out here, whereas here I still have the normal chrome. You have to tell me what you like better. So here we have a huge, big, aggressive diffuser with some matte back black plastic and some piano black. Whereas here the diffuser is a little bit smaller, but it's more of a GP1, GP2 style. I did add on this OEM piece afterwards, but once again, it is still part of it. Yeah, leave it in the comments. So this has the Pro JCW exhaust and this does not. Now that is big. The differences between the exhaust between these two cars could actually influence you in which car you got. So my favorite feature about this car, the reason why every single time I get excited when I get in it, even though I've had the car for over 2 years, is the fact that you get loud, popping, crazy exhaust. But this one doesn't quite have that. Now, in between shifts, it does let out a loud, cool, popping sound. You can get a JCW Pro exhaust for the 2022 models. However, you're not going to get the loud popping exhaust, which is unfortunate. Let's pop the hoods and see what's different under the hoods. Alright, so let's check under these hoods. I'm impressed with myself there. It does look a little bit different, doesn't it? However, you'd be surprised to learn it's pretty much the same engine. So, in both cars, it's a 2-liter, 228 horsepower engine. Unless you live in Europe, then they took away some horses so you can get more filters. Boo, European Union. Oh well. But that's the same. I don't even know what to point out the differences. Engine cover is a bit more blocky. Mini logo is a bit different. It's cleaner under this one. It's a lot cleaner. He doesn't live up a dirt road. And then on this side, we still have the old Mini logo actually. This engine was one of the last ones they produced before they started taking away all your loud pops. Other than that, underneath the engine, it's pretty much exactly the same. Alright, let's compare the interior of the two cars now. Let's start with the steering wheel once again. So the steering wheel is this nice, soft, plush leather, heated steering wheel in the JCW. Whereas the other one, it's kind of a harder leather, possibly slightly thicker in that one, but it's also not heated. This has these black buttons, whereas that one does not have piano black buttons. Let's go to the entertainment system quickly. So this one currently runs the new version of their entertainment system with these different widgets up here. Mine has the older style, although we can update the software on it, so look out for a video for that at some point. Talk about upgrades. This has this awesome digital dash, which in my car, I also have this nice digital dash, but I installed that. So if you want to see how to install the digital dash like you have in these newer Minis, check out the pop-up banner up here. So a pleasant surprise is that they've kept this parking brake. So not all 2022 Minis have this parking brake. Sometimes they have this little flap that lifts up there. So keep an eye on that when you're looking for your car. This car, as well as all manual transmission 2022 models, will have this nice proper parking brake. In my car, I have the full iDrive system here, which you can actually like type the letters on. For some reason, they don't do that in the new Minis, so that's kind of unfortunate. Another difference between the two cars is that the JCW seats now don't have the red bolsters. Other than that, the other change is that they imprinted these vents into the dash, whereas mine, they have an actual vent that comes out, as well as this dash is just this piece of plastic here. Whereas in the old style like mine, I think it actually looks kind of better, and I have this cool lit up LED Union jack, which looks amazing. I'd be very disappointed to have to get rid of that if I upgraded. All right, let's go for a ride and compare these two cars and how they drive, because as you'll probably find out, the big differences lie with that. So one of my favorite things about this car is the exhaust. Every time you go in between two buildings, you just have to have a lot of fun with it. So let's just do this now. You get the loud pops as you've fallen back down from like 45,000 RPM. So I go up. Sounds so good. Just popcorn over and over and over again. It's probably my favorite thing about this car. Other cars may tempt me, but every single time I think about it, all I think about is how much fun those pops are. Like, nothing can compare. One of the other comparisons while you're driving between my JCW and the new JCW is the road feeling. So you'll probably notice if we switch to the camera Josh was holding by hand that this car is very bumpy. And they have improved slightly on the dynamic dampers in these cars if you go with that option. And that is very nice to have, because without it, it is a very bumpy ride. And then the other thing is road noise. The new car had a lot less road noise, and that also was very nice. Yes, I know I have run flat tires, so that can't help. Oh my gosh, this road's so much fun. The single reason why this car, in my opinion, is better than the new LCI version is the exhaust. Like, this exhaust is amazing. The good news is you can get a Pro exhaust for the new car, but it doesn't pop and bang quite as much as this, as you have various filters that they've added, and even the engine itself is tuned differently. And you'd almost have to go for some burble tune in order to get your car sounding like this. So one of the two things that are the same between these two cars is their handling is absolutely amazing. Now, because the one has the new transmission, it does go through gears a lot quicker, and coming out of corners you can re-punch it a lot easier. That's why when I did the review of the JCW, I compared it to Joshua's ZF transmission in his M235i that has instant shifts. And launching it is so much fun in the manual, and then in the automatic it has an amazing launch control system. But still, I keep coming back to the same thing over and over again. That exhaust makes you want to push forward. Now, the new JCW does still sound quite aggressive, don't get me wrong there. I was pleasantly surprised with how well it sounded, especially after people complaining about it in reviews. When you're going around twisty back roads, you hear the difference between the two exhausts. Alright, to show you what I mean by the exhaust, I'm going to roll down the windows, open the sunroof, and just experience the amazing sounding exhaust on these crazy back roads that we're going to experience in just a second here. Let's go! Alright, that is our video. We hope you enjoyed. We had a ton of fun with both of these two cars. They are just a blast to drive. One's more modern, one's more in the past, one is loud pops. One goes for more of a grunt, but both are equally as amazing. I'd probably personally still prefer to keep my good old Nigel around. That's what I called him. But if you're looking for a new car, don't feel like you have to look for some older model. You can go ahead and just go buy a newer car and you should just as much fun as you normally would. Well, we hope you enjoyed. Most of all, please hit the like button and subscribe. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, we'd love to answer them as soon as possible. Other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you all in the next one. For a minute just to cool off a little bit.
It's not even cold air, but it still feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, summer. It smells like summer out there too. You can smell the flowers.
Yeah.
A little bit of cut grass here and there.